First of all, I would like to, it's a delight to be among everyone, to be here with us, and it's a privilege. And I'd like to thank the organizers for this privilege. Thank you so much. So let's move on. It doesn't matter if you are an amateur or an expert writer. Why am I getting like disturbing my life? I believe it's safe to assume that we all have an idea of the basics of writing, so I won't have to go into that. I'm talking on writing with purpose. I'm talking on writing with purpose and passion, and that is what we are delving into. Can you all see my slide?
Yes, ma.
Okay. So, do you ever do something without a reason? We don't. When you eat, you sleep, or study, there is always an underlying reason, benefit, or purpose. How do you feel when you are doing something you love? It's a question we should all think of in our mind. Just as writing would be. Writing is not just a chore that we do. It's passion. It's something you do because you love it. So it could be a hobby, going on trip what you love, or looking forward to your favorite meal. You always can't wait. So it's the same with writing. Writing is more than picking a pen and a piece of paper to scribble. It's giving life to words and then breathing life to others by the message you pass. Then I'll move on to the purpose of writing. There are so many reasons why you can write. Then I'll list the core purposes of writing. You can write to entertain. That is when you write to make others laugh and relax. I hope I'm not too fast, please.
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, because I talk naturally like this, and people tell me I'm fast sometimes. So, and I don't want to lose anyone. So, just tell me if I'm too fast. So, you write to entertain. That is when you write to make others laugh and relax. When it comes to writing of scripts, comedy, funny voiceover scripts, skits, all these actors, they have writers behind the scene who write the plot and the scenes. You also write to inform. You write to make others knowledgeable to information. You want to inform people. You want to tell people about what's going on or what you think they need to know. That is where those who write newsletters, news scripts, blog posts, and magazine, that is where they come in. You also write to persuade. You write to convince others and make them believe in your opinion, or make them buy from you. That in an example is that of a copywriter. You write sales copies, debates, speeches, and then you also write to describe, to paint an image in the mind of others. An essay, the composition you write in school, how your holiday went, even when we did not go for holiday. Write a letter to your cousin in the UK. All those things we did in primary school. Then you start painting pictures, you start thinking, you start painting images and putting them on paper. You are describing the statement you give at a police station about an event or a suspect, the note you drop to explain your perspective on an event. You also write to instruct. That is when you give orders to others, ORDER, to others, e.g. practical manuals we use in laboratory, your textbooks, the manual guides that come with every appliances you buy, the instructions, the don't touch, the do not touch, the what you touch. The point is, you don't write without a purpose. You have to identify why you write. Your purpose is your reason, and that is the fuel you need. So I'll move on to the next slide. Why do you write? You have heard of the general aims of writing, but as a writer, you can't be general. You can't just write anyhow. Today you are writing fiction, tomorrow you are writing non-fiction, today you are writing crime, tomorrow you are writing. Then they ask you, what are you writing? I don't know. What do you write? I have no idea. You have to know. You can be good in many aspects, but you have to have a particular niche that you are better at. You need something that calls to you to pick your pen or your notepad or your phone. So you are allowed to be a general in your field, though, even though you can be general. You get that joke? Okay. So let's move on. You have to be specific on why you write to help you keep writing more. This is a short test and we are going to do it. You don't have to answer, but you can just think of it, answer in your brain or in your mind, or jot it down. Analyze what you love writing more about. This is a way of telling you why you write, pinpointing why exactly you write. Analyze what you love writing more about. Do you like writing about politics, about entertainment, about crime, anything? What turns you on about writing? What kicks you into the action mode? Why do you write about them? Is it to explain, to tell people, or to just convince them? That is when you're not talking of the purpose of writing. Are you trying to inform? Are you trying to persuade? Or are you trying to make others laugh? Or are you just trying to make them think about why their 6 is rather 9? Do they just excite you, or do you love to share your values with others? Are your strengths where your interests are? Sometimes you want to write about things, but you are not really good at that in that area. So are your strengths where your interests are? Do you feel the need to know more about your field? Who are your audience? Are you willing to go the extra mile? That will help you to note why you actually write. Then the next slide, finding passion for writing. Finding passion for writing. If you think writing is fun, you are wrong. There are times people tell you what you do, be like you're a writer, and then be like you write for fun, or you just write. Then you start explaining the basics of writing to them. Sometimes people assume that you don't really have much to do, and sometimes people be like, wow, you're writing, how do you do that? How did you come up with that? So to some it can be a hobby, and to others it can be a chore. So if you think but what really matters now is your own opinion. If you think writing is fun, you are wrong. And if you also think writing is boring as a writer, you are also not right. That means you are wrong. Even if writing is a hobby to you, you don't feel the need to write every time. Even though you're a professional writer, you definitely won't want to write every time. But you have to, and you have to make it fun for not just you, but your readers as well. There are times you write, and then you might say you want to write for an hour. You are writing for 3 hours because you love what you are writing. As you are writing, the concept keeps getting fresh in your head. The images keep popping in, the scenarios keep getting interesting. Then you are loving what you are doing. You are staying there. But it's not just about doing what you love. It's about making it fun for your readers, so that when they pick the book, they can be hooked on it. They can be hooked by the first sentence. You don't want your message getting lost because you no longer care about your writing, but the completion date. You are not just writing because your deadline is next week Tuesday, and you have to just put in anything just to submit the word count. Let's say I'm writing 20,000 word novella, and I don't know what to write. My outline is off, my scenes, my plot, the plot development, I don't even know what to do about it, but I just have to submit something. You find out that you write a lot of fluff than the main stuff, and then you submit what, I don't want to say trash, but let's just put it that way. You submit what is actually not good, and then the readers, after few chapters, they drop it. As a writer or a professional one, you don't want that. It's not hard to stay motivated and keep your passion flowing. It's what you can do. Imagine what could have made that old man in the second slide. What could have made him keep on writing, even though he was old with his frail bones and everything? It was passion. Staying passionate as a writer. We've talked on why you write, then how to keep writing. Even though you know why you write. Okay, I want to submit a poem to my church. There is this anniversary that I want to make others listen to the theme. Okay, let me not digress further. Staying passionate as a writer. The first point that you have to do is to stick to your lane. You have to stick to your lane as a writer. Identify where your strengths are. Identify who you are. Do you do better with fiction? Do you do better with non-fiction? What particular aspect are you better at? Religion, politics, entertainment, maybe recipe, or even sketches, maybe anime or whatever it is that you do. Stick to your lane. Don't because Bola, she writes poem every night or every day, submit poem, and then people applaud that wow, your pieces are nice, your manuscript, your whatever, your chapbook, it's nice. And then what you are actually good it's a worded essay. You can write 5,000 essay to convey your point, and there are only 50 people reading it, and 10 people giving you feedback. But Bola has over 1,000 audience reading a piece, always eager to read. And then you think of switching to Bola's niche, even though you are not good at it. That would drain you, because you find out that you pick a pen or whatever you use, whether a pen, a paper, whether you're a traditional writer or the modern type using the laptop. You find out that you stare at your screen or your paper for hours without knowing what to write, because it's not your passion. It's not where you're actually good at. You can't convey what you want to write. You can't convey them out from your soul. So putting them now down on paper is actually hard. So you have to stick to your lane. Don't copy. Don't doubt yourself. Don't move into an area that is not your strength because of the accolades. Work on yourself. That Bola that you are envying, she had her own time. She had her own face that she had to struggle to get her audience. So focus on building yourself. Do what you love and make your strength, make them work for you. Work on yourself and improve on your weaknesses. Because you are sticking to your lane does not mean that you have to stick with all the weaknesses that are there. If there is something you have to work on, even in that your field, work on them, improve. But what do they say? There is this adage in my language that says, don't use the time of others to judge yourself. Because of your weakness. So work on yourself and improve on your weaknesses till you are a master in your field. If you are good at writing romance, don't jump to crime because your friends who write detective stories get more recognized than you. Then the next point is staying true to yourself. Write from your soul. If there is something that you know you can fully express, let's say someone that knows. I'm trying to think of an example. Okay, I have this friend. When it comes to anything economics, financial, something, she's good at it. She can relate what is happening with Russia to Ukraine to anything. She's very good at it. But I should not say because she can write anything, politics, blah blah blah. I will now say I want to jump to her lane, or I want to write something that has to do with politics or world development or world cancer or world blah blah blah. It's not something that I cannot do. Okay, let's say it's not something writer A cannot do, but writer A has to work more to be like writer B. It won't be easy to be as good as writer B is. And sometimes you might get frustrated while looking at yourself, while looking at what you want to write and how you are putting down on paper. You just get frustrated, you leave it out. You leave it to come back to it, and sometimes you might not even get back to your writing for days, and that is killing your passion, because something you are passionate about is something you do all the time. It's something you want to do, you always want to get back yourself to. So you stay true to yourself, you write from your soul, not because not becoming what you are not because of the glitter. You see yourself as more than your writing. If you as a writer, you understand that your writing, your piece, your story, your poetry, they go beyond you. Like, you're not just writing because you want to express. You're also writing because you want to impress, you want to influence, you want to impact. It keeps you going. It helps you going. It helps you like that. So you see yourself as more than your writing. You are not just writing on a pen or a paper. You're not just putting a pen or a paper to watch your ink float. You are actually passing a message. You are giving life to your words. You are giving life to your words. You are influencing lives. just like, okay, you can't say the best. Let me use Monzine as an example. Their script writer won't just say he's writing because he wants to produce, because the producer needs a movie. Their movie goes beyond that. It teach you of redemption, everything. Then whether it's all these business dramas too, it's not just about selling you, it's not just about making you laugh or anything. It goes beyond that. There's always something, there's always a theme, revolving around it. Whether it's a script, it's a movie, it's a book, there's always a theme. And that theme is why you write. So that theme is, even if you want to give up, even if you want to give up, you know that you can't give up because of those you want to influence, those you actually want to see the message that you want them to see. So you see yourself as more than your writing. And the fourth point is to learn and explore beyond your comfort zone. Don't just stay in your comfort zone like, I can write this. I'm a narrative writer. This is where I stay. I'm a descriptive writer or an explosive one. This is where I stay. You can do, if there's something that appeals to you as a writer. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay,
Yes, ma.
Okay, thank you. So if there is something that appeals to you as a writer, if there is a genre you want to delve into, you can explore beyond your comfort zone. That is how you grow. Solving challenges also helps to keep you passionate, because you want to see yourself doing more than, because if you keep doing the same thing over and over, it might get boring. But if you do something challenging, something new, there is this excitement that fills you, and then it makes your passion, it makes it rise higher. You can introduce a new concept. You are introducing a lifestyle and impacting mind. Then picture the scenario in your head before putting the word down on paper. That will help you to keep on writing. Then you have a reward structure. If I write this is what you set target to your day. You don't just wake up and be like, you don't just write because as the spirit comes, as the spirit leads. Let me use that word. You don't write as the spirit leads. You want to build up your writing muscles. Let me say that. You want to build up your writing muscles, and then you don't want to get bored. So you have a reward system. When I want to write 5,000 words today, it feels like a challenge. Maybe you've been writing 2,000 words, but you want to push yourself. You want to go beyond your comfort zone. I'm writing 5,000 words today. After writing 5,000 words, this is what I will do. Then that thing you already promised yourself, you look up to it. You look forward to it, rather. You look forward to it. So it helps you to keep on going, knowing that it's just like exam and result. When the reading for exam can be boring, but when the result come out and you see your grades, you have this excitement in you, like, yes, I did it. So it helps you to look forward to the next exam, or it helps you to overcome the hurdles of the next exam. So you have a reward structure in your mind that you can appreciate yourself with when you are done with writing. Then the next slide is fueling your passion for writing. There's so many things that will come against writing, no matter how dedicated you are, that aside the time, your schedule, or whatever you have going on in your life, there's so many things that are related to writing that want to stop you from writing. Then the first one is managing writer's block. There is no writer on earth that they can say he or she has not had a moment of writer's block. But even if writer's block is normal for writers to have, it's not normal for you to stay there. You can't stay there. It's just like saying because you don't have appetite, you are not eating again for the rest of your life. It's not possible. So you can deal with it. Have a deadline for yourself. If I don't know if anyone is familiar with all these movies or books that have to do with promotion of books. You can see that sometimes the writers are not done writing the books, but they already set the launch date. So that keeps the writers in track that, this is already been publicized to everyone that this book will be out by this time. So that will help you to get up and write. You set a target for yourself. You have an outline for your work. I have an outline. Chapter 1, know what you're doing. Chapter 1, chapter 2, know what the ending would be. So there might be some twist in the plot development as you are writing, but you have an idea of what you are writing. So that won't keep you stuck. You won't be like, I don't know what to write again, because you already have a guideline for what you are going to do. You have everything to be creative, so you don't let it stop you. And then you dealing with self-doubt. The second point, believe in yourself, because you're not getting many feedback or praises on your manuscript does not mean you are not good and you can't keep on writing. So believe in yourself. Don't compare yourself to others. Be proud of your art. Be proud of what you do. Then tapping into creativity. Don't run out of ideas. There is, don't even know how you can run out of ideas, but don't let yourself run out of ideas. Always be sensitive. There are ideas all over you. Don't be tired of being creative. There are ideas all around you. You can be original with your ideas. You can think of new ideas, and you can also tweak ideas from already existing ideas. Imagine. Let your imagination run wide. You can look at a book and be like, there is something missing here. That is your own idea. That is creativity. You can watch a movie and be like, wow, I could have written it like this. You've already bettered a new story. You can see your neighbor doing something. Put everything together. Something is happening. That is a new story forming. Read, listen to the news. Anything can help your creativity. Then you can read books. To tap into your creativity, you can read books, you watch movies, you learn to observe nature. Sometimes you sit still and you're watching, you're observing, and ideas are popping into your head. You are not idle. That is what it means to be creative and keep on tapping into your creativity. You learn to observe nature and tune into your environment. Then you find stories rushing into your mind more than you can write. The next point is dealing with perfectionism. You are not perfect, and neither can you be. You have to know that you are not perfect, and neither can you be. But that does not mean you have to stay with that mentality that I'm not perfect. I can be nonchalant about what I want to do. I want to check if I still have time. Okay, you have to get that stock first. Do not stress to be perfect, or you'll be stuck around doing only one manuscript and unable to move on to the next one. You writing about a 20,000 word manuscript novella, and then you keep thinking of new ideas. You keep thinking this can be better. You keep fretting over everything. You move on to the next one. And just like the first speakers talk, when you are writing, focus on writing first. Don't edit, because if you keep editing, there will always be more to edit, and you only edit the first chapter till your time is gone. So there are words lying inside you, and write words waiting to burst out. Though you are not perfect, it's not an excuse to be mediocre. Write well with clarity and edit with thoughtfulness. Dot your I's and cross your T's, and you won't have to fret so much. So manage writer's block, deal with self-doubt, tap into creativity, look at the world around you, and then caution, silence, or reduce the volume of that perfectionistic voice in your head. The next slide is what your writing voice is. You have a voice. Just like I'm talking and everyone can hear me, you also have your own voice. Aside the voice, your vocal cords and everything, your hands as a writer, they also have their own voice. Your mind connecting to your hand bring out a voice that speaks. Everyone has a voice. We all don't talk the same way, and neither will write the same way. Some voices are mild, gruff, high-pitched, and normal. So likewise are written voices. Some writers are direct in their approach, some casual, some a blend of both, and others have different writing styles based on circumstances that influence them to write. Some writers write based on the sad events around them, and some write based on the happy event. So your moods, the mood conveyed by your writing will be different based on the circumstances. Your voice as a writer reflects who you are, by the ideas you express and how you do that. Mastering your voice helps you connect with your audience, shows them how unique you are, and makes it easy for them to recognize you, even if they read only a few lines of your work. There was a time in school that I was part of the publicity team in my fellowship. I submit write-ups sometimes. One of the pastors in school came to meet me, was like, Temidayo, you wrote this particular column. I said, yes, sir. It was like, I knew it. And my name was not even there. But because it's something I wrote about, something I've always been passionate about, and the way I expressed it, he knew that it's like it had to be me that would write that thing, because based on where I write, based on how I apply or I dressed the matter. So your writing voice reflects your unique style, your personality, your opinions and mood, and the time of conception of words. Sometimes people be like, girl, who offended you? Or, oh, what happened today? So that's what I'm saying, that your voice can convey your mood as a writer at that time. And your voice can also convey your style, your personality, your opinions. And there are times that your writing do not even have anything to do with you at all. It has to do with how you want the readers to react. Your voice has a way of impacting your readers. Do you want them to be informed? Do you want to engage them by stirring up some emotions? That is when controversial topics, that is when they come in. Sometimes the person who wrote the tweet or the message or the status is still busy eating or watching movies in their house, but they have dropped the message that people just be reacting to all these stories you read online that about maybe domestic abuse, cheating, embezzlement. They might not even have anything to do with the writers, but it's because it's something that is happening in the society that everybody can relate to it. So the writers have a way of tweaking it to make people think. And sometimes when you stir up emotions, people will be like, oh, I can relate to something like this happen. They not start judging. Is it good? Is it not good? All those kind of things. Your voice is your ticket to doing that, to impacting readers, to influencing, to making people change their way of thinking or just informing them. Your voice is your literary signature. You can't afford to be nonchalant about it. Then discovering your writing voice. You find your style. Find your voice. Ever heard that practice makes perfect? In this case, practice brings clarity. It's not about you being perfect. It's about you getting an idea of what your voice is and owning it. You can't be sure of what you don't do. To call yourself a writer, you have to WRITE. You have to write. Notice how I spelled it out. That means it's something it's not something you just do as a go. It's something you keep on doing. You have to write. It's continuous. That means you have to write a lot. You can't write 2 short articles and 1 long poem and desire a medal for writing. Writing is in a continuity. It's a continuous process. It's what you have to keep on doing. Just as you can't stay alive if you choose not to breathe. You can't reach your peak as a writer if you choose not to let words breathe through you. You have to keep on writing to analyze what your style is. When you write, let's say you write 15 short pieces per week, then you analyze them, you check them. Okay, what is common? What's the style common? What's the mood? What is actually the message that is common to everything that I've written? Let's say out of 15, 10 look similar. Then you can say, okay, well, maybe this is my style, maybe this is my message, this is my theme. Then how to master your voice as a writer. You write as often as you can. You keep on writing. It is when you write that you get better. It's just like studying for exams. You don't just read when the exam is near, or you read once and be like, oh, I have photographic memory. That's stuck. It's not like that. You keep on reading. That is when you can now have an idea of, oh, this is what I've learned. So you keep on writing as often as you can. You read widely. You read. There are many authors out there with different styles. If you read a lot of books, then you can, okay, I can relate with this author more. I can relate to this. I can relate with this one. I don't relate to this one. But you won't know who you can relate with if you don't actually read. You won't know what your theme is, what your message, where your passion, where your interest and your strengths really lie. If you choose not to read, you write, you read, and then you are consistent with your mode of expression. This is what I want to be known for. This is how I want to express myself. I'm not just seeing that Bola is writing casually and I want to write casually. I'm not saying that Bola is being too formal and I want to be formal. I'm not saying that Shade is being too informal and I want to be informal. I'm not saying that Shegun is writing in one sentences and I want to do one sentence and I want to do that. You have to be consistent with your own mode of expression. This is Temidayo. This is how she writes. This is what she wants to be known for. Then this is what I have to stick to, even if I can diversify into many styles or anything, but I want to have this particular thing. It's a conscious thing. You have to know how what you actually want to be known for and how you want to be identified. Yes, how you want to be identified, that is your voice. Then you picture how you want your message to be viewed by your audience. Do I want them to get angry? Do I want them to understand? What exactly do I want them to see from this one? Because if you can write something and then it is interpreted into many ways, so you have to be conscious of how you actually want it to be interpreted. Yes, so you picture it down. When you are done writing, you read it. If I'm not the writer, I'm just a reader who picks this book off a shelf in the library, would I understand the point? Will I want to contact the author and be like, what did you write? Or will I get it? Will I get the message as they go? You picture how you want your message to be viewed by your audience, then you write it down like that. Don't be afraid of feedbacks. There are times you write, people will be like, I do not agree with that. You might spend time explaining to them that, okay, this is actually what I mean, this is not what you mean, but they won't get it because they already have a formed opinion in their minds and they're not ready to listen to you. Do not let that stop that, I wrote something yesterday, Shegun did not get what I meant. He started ranting in my DM. I'm not writing again. I don't want wala. That is not your business. You are not stopping. You won't stop writing because Shegun ranted. Because for every Shegun that did not understand your message, there are many Sheguns out there that who perfectly understood your message but did not reach out. Sometimes we get it's easy for people to criticize negatively than actually reach out and praise you to your face. So don't be afraid of feedback. Maybe if you get 5 negative feedbacks and you get only one and you be like, it's as if this writing is not my voice, let me stop. No, it's not my thing. Rather, it's as if this writing is not my thing, let me stop. No, don't be afraid of feedback. Align with the flow and don't be too hard on yourself. When you're writing, let the words pour out from your soul. Align with them, write them out. Write as you talk or you would like to be talked to. Be natural. That will help your writing. Be natural. The way you relate, the way you think in your mind, your imagination, it will help you. Align, write as you talk and would like to be talked to. Write what you would like to read. There is one quote I read somewhere. I've forgotten who actually wrote it. It says, if there is a book out there that you would like to read and it's not published already, that means that's your cue to write it. If that, what I mentioned earlier, that you watching a movie and then you think a scenario does not have a need or something has to be written, there is this particular thing that should be in the book or this particular addition that the producer or the director could have added, that is your cue to actually now tweak your own story and write it. So write what you would like to read. That would help you. That will give you more ideas to write. That will help you stay passionate, and that would help you master your voice, your style as a writer. So in conclusion, your voice is your message. You build it. Your voice is your signature. You refine it. As a writer, you create words with words to give pleasure or inspiration to your readers. You refine lives with your lines. So don't stop being who you are. Don't stop being a writer. Don't stop being excellent. You are good the way you are, but you can be better. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.